3 steps to take revenge on a narcissist the best way possible. So, you're wondering what the best way is to get even with a person who is overly self-absorbed, like a narcissist. Honestly, when you think about it, how practical or even worthwhile is it to try to get back at them? The truth is, getting even with a narcissist might seem tempting, but it's rarely effective, and it could end up being a lot more harmful to you than to them. If you're dealing with a narcissist, the most powerful thing you can do is resist the urge to stoop to their level or follow them into the toxic space they create. Instead, the best approach is simply to stop talking to them. By cutting them out of your life, you take away the control they crave, and you regain your own peace and balance. It's understandable that you might feel angry or even hurt by the way a narcissist treats you, but remember this: focusing on improving yourself is what will truly make a difference. The more you work on your own growth and well-being, the more you'll distance yourself from their negative influence. I know how frustrating it can be, but the real power lies in not allowing their behavior to dictate your emotional state. Paradoxically, most people overlook one crucial factor. Your emotional reactions are completely justified. If you've experienced the intense abuse that often comes from dealing with a narcissist, your feelings of anger or frustration are natural and valid. The problem is that when others don't see what you've been through, they may not understand why you're so upset. This can leave you feeling isolated and unsupported. But let me reassure you, your anger is not only justified, it's also a sign of a healthy, functioning nervous system. Anger is a natural response to injustice or mistreatment, and when channeled correctly, it can serve as powerful motivation to help you move forward. However, it's important to remember that while your anger is legitimate, irrational anger, acting out of spite or vengeance, can be morally damaging and ultimately unproductive. So, let's go over some essential steps for dealing with a narcissist in a way that protects your well-being and helps you navigate these difficult interactions. And if you find yourself interested in diving deeper into this topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell notifications. This way, you'll be the first to know whenever new content is posted. I know how important it is to have reliable information when you're dealing with narcissists, and I want to make sure you stay informed. Now think for a moment. How often have you felt that intense anger when dealing with a narcissist? Was your anger mild, or did it feel overwhelming at times? And when you feel yourself starting to lose your temper, what do you do to cool down and regain your composure? For those who have experienced similar emotional battles, sharing your stories can be a way to show others that they are not alone in this struggle. If you've ever been through a situation with a narcissist that tested your patience or your emotional limits, please feel free to share your experiences in the comments section below. Your insights might help someone else who is going through the same thing. First and foremost, you need to stop bottling up your anger. Many people tend to suppress their anger when they are dealing with narcissists, or when they are put in situations where they feel obligated to participate, even if they don't want to. They try to hide their frustration, almost as if acknowledging it would be dangerous or harmful. They fail to recognize that feeling upset in these circumstances is completely normal. It's simply another form of emotional response that people can have when they are mistreated. The dynamics of the relationship itself reveal that these feelings of anger are actually quite reasonable, given the narcissist's abusive and toxic behavior. Take a moment to reflect on all the harm that narcissists have caused you over time. They lied to you, repeatedly, without hesitation. They made grand promises of support and help, but in reality, they never followed through on any of them. They assured you that the future would be brighter, full of hope and opportunities, but all of it turned out to be nothing more than empty words. And when they began targeting you specifically, they didn't just attack you physically or emotionally. They sought to break your spirit by presenting you with a false identity, one that wasn't yours, but one they tried to impose upon you, distorting your reality in the process. Narcissists are individuals who, driven by a deep need to inflate their own self-esteem and sense of worth, actively work to undermine your sense of self. Their aim is to manipulate you into becoming a distorted version of who you truly are, a mere shadow of your authentic self. They do this in subtle and overt ways, ensuring that you start doubting your own identity and abilities. In the end, once they have stripped you of your self-worth and left you feeling powerless, you are treated as nothing more than an expendable object, something to be discarded when it no longer serves their purpose. The entire situation that has unfolded is tragic. It is incredibly painful to deal with the emotional and psychological toll that comes from enduring this kind of treatment. The consequences of this behavior have a far-reaching impact, affecting not just you, but others around you as well. The person on the receiving end of this narcissistic manipulation will undoubtedly experience intense suffering, often for a prolonged period of time. When you stop and reflect on everything you've endured, it becomes clear that this kind of treatment has shaped much of your life, leaving you feeling diminished and broken. Given all that has transpired, it is completely understandable that you would feel angered to the point of wanting to get back at them, to retaliate in some way. However, let me be clear here. I am not advising you to act on these impulses or to succumb to the urge for revenge. What I am suggesting is that you should acknowledge your anger as a legitimate and natural response to the wrongs that have been done to you. Your anger is not only valid, but it is also a necessary part of the healing process. Rather than repressing or denying it, you should accept it as part of your emotional journey. It's important to recognize that there is no point in treating them with kindness or forgiveness when they have shown you nothing but cruelty. You must understand that in order to truly grasp the depth of the abuse, you need to fully recognize and validate your feelings of anger. Accepting this anger is not just an emotional release. It is the first step towards reclaiming your power and ensuring that you don't continue to allow their actions to control your sense of self. Second, think about what the narcissist wants out of the connection. Narcissists have a clear objective when it comes to their interactions with others. They want you to relinquish your sense of individuality and self-worth. From the beginning, they work relentlessly to undermine your ability to think independently or make your own decisions. They oppose any attempts you make to establish boundaries or gain control over your own life. The ultimate goal is to strip you of your autonomy, making you feel completely dependent on them. Over time, they want you to feel small, worthless, and ashamed of who you are, to the point where you no longer recognize your own value. This is why they often isolate you from others, making you feel alone and unsupported, as if you are the only one who has to endure their cruelty. The toll of this isolation and emotional manipulation is immense, causing untold pain and suffering. The gradual erosion of your sense of self was not an accident. It was a deliberate strategy, a way to induce amnesia, making you forget who you truly are. This disconnection from your authentic self was meant to make you malleable, so they could treat you however they wanted. They sought to break you down, to mold you into someone who would obey them without question, someone who would never challenge their authority or assert their own needs. In their eyes, your existence was meant to serve them, and they expected you to submit without resistance. You became the target of an ongoing campaign to silence your voice and suppress your individuality. Those who controlled you feared what might happen if you were ever given the freedom to think for yourself, to make choices without their interference. The more control they maintained over your every move, the more powerful and superior they felt. It was a twisted game, one where they derived satisfaction from ruling every aspect of your life. The irony is that their need for control stemmed from a deep insecurity, because they lacked the same sense of autonomy and self-worth they were trying to strip from you. They couldn't bear the thought of you having the freedom to act on your own. Your independence threatened their fragile ego, so they worked tirelessly to ensure that you never gained the ability to think or act independently. This lack of control in their own lives is precisely why they went to such extremes to keep you under their thumb. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for you, as it gives you the knowledge you need to break free from their influence. Once you begin to recognize the narcissist's tactics and their strategies for controlling you, you will have the clarity and insight to take the necessary steps to protect yourself and regain your sense of self. Knowing how they manipulate and distort your reality will help you make more informed decisions about how to respond and move forward. Third, achieve victory against them. How? The narcissist pictured you just like this, so let me explain. Do the opposite of what narcissists want you to do. Why? Simply put, you can rise from the ashes like the mythological phoenix if you put in the work necessary to do so, just as that bird did. Narcissists abhor this quality in others. All the narcissist's efforts will be for naught if you put in the work to heal and safeguard yourself from future narcissistic relationships. Learning to say no, keeping and protecting your resources, and being your own person is their failure when it comes to rekindling relationships, since it tells them they no longer have control over you. Despite their pretensions, they actually have very little sway. They imagine themselves to be omniscient and omnipotent, but they are neither. The fact that you are taking charge of your life and making positive changes is the greatest disappointment for them. In light of your achievement, it's clear that you proved that narcissists are doomed to fail in their attempts to manipulate you. Narcissists expected you to self-destruct emotionally, but they were wrong. Narcissists find it quite upsetting when you don't share their level of pessimism. It never stops eating away at them. Their efforts, alas, bore no fruit. What a shame it is that they did such a shoddy job of it. To rephrase, I propose that you find healthy outlets for your anger. To move forward in your healing and growth, you must discover healthy outlets for your anger. Also, acknowledge your anger and use it to propel you ahead in your efforts to mend and move on. To sum up, if you want to get even with a narcissist, you need to focus your anger inward and use it to recover from the trauma you've endured because of your interactions with the narcissist and other terrible situations in your life. There was just no way to avoid experiencing that pain. There needs to be the same familiarity, closeness, and authenticity that you feel when interacting with other people. Only by collaborative effort can one achieve the ideal atmosphere. You need to accept that you are furious and find a constructive way to channel that energy. You were feeling better at the time, therefore the advice was given then. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today's video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused if you were hoping for more content. I truly value your support and would love to hear your thoughts on today's video, so feel free to leave a comment down below and share any feedback or ideas you have. Your input means a lot to me, and I always enjoy reading through what you have to say. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future content, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you think any of your friends or family would enjoy this video, be sure to share it with them. It really helps out the channel. I'm excited for what's coming next, and once we're able to connect again, I'll be sure to update you on the next big video I'm working on. In the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and I can't wait to catch up with you soon. This is what happens when a narcissist doesn't talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Your support is truly what helps keep my channel going and motivates me to keep creating content. I really appreciate you being here, and it means a lot to know that you value the information shared. To make sure you never miss any of the upcoming videos, I strongly recommend subscribing to the channel and enabling the bell notifications. This way, you'll always be updated whenever I upload new content. Alright, let's dive into today's topic. Today, we're discussing narcissists and their tendency to use silence as a tool to punish and manipulate their victims. This behavior is not uncommon in narcissistic relationships, and it can be incredibly damaging. But have you ever wondered why some people don't speak up when they strongly feel that someone else is being mistreated or ignored? Why do they stay silent even when they know something is wrong? Understanding the dynamics behind this can help shed light on some of the more subtle and insidious tactics narcissists use to control those around them. So, why exactly does a narcissist choose to ignore someone? There are generally three primary reasons for this. The first reason is relatively straightforward. If the narcissist isn't interested in the topic at hand, they will simply withdraw or choose to ignore the conversation. This happens when the topic or situation doesn't serve their ego or desires, so they see no value in engaging. It's a behavior that's not limited to narcissists. We've all been in situations where we feel disengaged or uninterested in a particular subject, and as a result, we either tune out or choose not to speak. However, with a narcissist, this silence can carry much more weight and be used as a deliberate form of manipulation. The second reason narcissists use silence as a punishment is more emotionally driven. Often, when a narcissist feels slighted or is not receiving the attention or validation they think they deserve, they will withdraw in an attempt to provoke a reaction from the other person. By going silent, they hope to make their victim feel anxious, insecure, or desperate to regain their attention. This tactic plays on the emotions of the victim, forcing them to chase after the narcissist's approval or seek answers for the sudden silence. It's a form of control, as the narcissist knows that by withholding communication, they can create confusion and emotional turmoil in the victim's mind. Finally, the third reason narcissists might use silence as a weapon is when they are punishing someone for not meeting their expectations, or challenging their sense of superiority. Narcissists have fragile egos, and when their image is threatened or their authority is questioned, they can lash out by ignoring the person who posed a challenge. This silent treatment serves as a way for the narcissist to assert their dominance and remind the other person of their power in the relationship. The silence becomes a form of psychological control, reinforcing the narcissist's need to feel superior and in charge. Understanding these underlying causes of narcissistic silence is crucial in recognizing how narcissists manipulate others. There are numerous reasons why a narcissist may withdraw or use silence as a weapon, but it always revolves around their need to maintain control and power over others. Recognizing these tactics can help victims break free from the psychological grip of the narcissist and reclaim their own emotional well-being. This behavior may, at least in part, stem from the narcissist's own internal feelings of discomfort or unease in social situations. Narcissists often struggle with situations that make them feel insecure or exposed, and as a result, they tend to isolate themselves when they feel uneasy or threatened by the presence of others. This tendency to withdraw is a defense mechanism they use to protect their fragile sense of self. It is simply not in the narcissist's nature to embrace change or uncertainty, as they are deeply invested in maintaining control over their environment and how they are perceived by others. For a narcissist, predictability and routine provide a sense of comfort, as it allows them to feel that they are in charge and that they can present the best version of themselves to the outside world. They rely heavily on their ability to create and sustain a specific image, which is why disruptions to that routine can throw them off balance. One of the reasons narcissists find comfort in routine is that it allows them to maintain their facade of superiority and control. They enjoy being able to anticipate what will happen next, which gives them a sense of mastery over their environment. In these controlled settings, narcissists are able to perform and present themselves in the most flattering light, reinforcing their belief in their own importance. In contrast, when new people enter the scene or when they feel out of control, such as in a group dynamic where someone else becomes the focal point of attention, narcissists often feel threatened. They may become withdrawn or uncommunicative, particularly when someone else takes the spotlight. This is because the narcissist's sense of self-worth is so tied to their ability to command attention and admiration that they feel uncomfortable and even resentful when someone else is able to capture the focus of the group. Furthermore, narcissists tend to be wary of people who stand out too much or who behave in ways they consider inappropriate, such as speaking loudly or without proper manners. They may see these individuals as a threat to their own image, or as people who disrupt the carefully curated environment that the narcissist has created. This can make narcissists feel even more uneasy, as they are constantly on alert for anything that might damage their carefully constructed self-image. This heightened sensitivity to the actions of others is another reason they may retreat into silence or withdraw when faced with such behavior. If you were to ask a narcissist why they aren't engaging in a conversation or why they are being uncommunicative, they might offer an excuse such as being too tired, feeling sick, or simply not in the mood to talk. These excuses are common and often serve as a way to deflect attention away from the real reason for their withdrawal, which is more likely tied to their discomfort or insecurity. In other cases, the narcissist may have been pushed out of the spotlight and into a position where they are no longer the center of attention. This can be a deeply unsettling experience for a narcissist, as their entire sense of self-worth is often derived from being the focal point in any given situation. When they are no longer able to command the spotlight, they may feel both scared and angry, as it threatens their sense of control and importance. However, because they are unable to openly express these emotions, or challenge the shift in attention, they retreat into silence. This silence serves as a way for the narcissist to regain some sense of control and distance themselves from the situation. When they feel that they are no longer being seen or appreciated in the way they believe they deserve, they may begin to turn their frustration inward or direct it towards others. The next people on their mental list of targets are typically those who make them feel bad or provoke feelings of anger. This can result in further social isolation or passive-aggressive behavior as the narcissist grapples with their perceived loss of control. There is also the possibility that the narcissist is not engaging in conversation because they are preoccupied with something else, such as working on a project or thinking about their next move. This could be the third reason behind their silence. Narcissists are often highly self-absorbed and can become fixated on their own needs or plans, causing them to disengage from social interactions when they feel their attention should be directed elsewhere. Whether it's a personal project, a goal they are working towards, or simply a desire to keep others at a distance, the narcissist's internal focus can result in them being less communicative with those around them. In these moments, their silence may not be as much about the people around them as it is about their own internal world, but it still serves the purpose of maintaining their own sense of control over the situation. People who tend to be narcissistic are usually obsessed with getting what they want, whether it's money or revenge. If any of these things happen to a narcissist, their mind can go into overdrive. The only thing that matters to the narcissist is to keep the new supply busy and spend as much time as possible with them. So, the narcissist will lash out and become very argumentative, giving them yet another reason to break up with their spouse, if they have one, and start a new relationship with the new supply. When the new supply is over, they will usually come back and act friendly until they can leave for good. When narcissists are ready to get rid of one of their supplies, they do it this way. This one is for you if you want to know how narcissists get rid of people. They have stopped love bombing and are now in full discard mode. The narcissist puts in a lot of effort, whether they are trying to hurt someone or win their love. Because their minds are always going, narcissists tend to withdraw more. Narcissists will stop talking because they want someone to follow them or give in to them. When they don't get what they want, narcissists punish their target by being quiet. Most likely, their target won't find out until it's too late. The narcissist uses silence to get the other person to talk, lighten the mood, and try to make the narcissist feel better. Most of the time, to get them to talk to you again, they want you to beg and do anything you can to make them happy and amused. When people chase after a narcissist, it makes them feel important and wanted, which they enjoy. They can play this game to see how their silence affects their target without bothering them if they are bored with the connection. A narcissist loves to hurt you, make you feel bad, or make you doubt your own skills. Don't let people like this into your heart if you don't want to be sad and have your life ruined. Because of these things, narcissists tend to shut up or stop talking to other people. They might just be interested in how you move, or they might be trying to figure out if you are going to attack them. Narcissists can only be happy when they are around people who are sad. Because of this, narcissists become hysterical if they can't talk about how they feel. I just told you the 3 main reasons for this, and a possible 4th reason that has nothing to do with what's going on in the outside world. People have nothing to do with what the narcissist is trying to hide, like feelings of guilt or not being good enough. If they are covert narcissists, the people with whom they live will be the first to notice how moody and distant they are. When they aren't performing or in their comfort zone, narcissists often feel down and pull away. No matter what the reason, a narcissist's silence is never a good sign. I believe this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you found the content useful and insightful. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to share your thoughts, opinions, or any personal experiences related to the topic in the comment section below. Your feedback is really important, and it helps me understand how the content resonates with you. Also, if any of the points I mentioned today were helpful to you, please let me know. I'd really appreciate hearing how this video might have made an impact. If you want to stay up to date with all the future content we upload, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification icon. This way, you won't miss any of our new videos, and you'll always be in the loop about what's coming next. I'm really grateful that you took the time to watch this video today, and I hope you found it valuable. Thanks again for your support, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next one.